common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
I understand we have
Governor
David Paterson, who's going to tell us what the heck is going on in Chicago.
Absolutely. Governor, you were there at the DNC. Fill us in.
Well, I sort of was hoping that the convention would be a lot more dialectic and not, just as kind of these long speeches, and then it's a contest as to who can insult, President Trump the most. But I think President Trump needs to be called to task, but he needs to be called to task by one or two people, not 19 of them in the same night. And in doing it, they ruined what was, I thought, an excellent speech by Joe Biden, but he didn't get on the stage until 11:30. And, there were some speakers I thought were fantastic. I think everyone's always known that Michelle Obama could have gone into politics and probably been more successful than her husband, who seems confused half the time. But the thing is that this is the time to start making your case to the public. And I just thought that a few people, they could pick out the issues that they wanted to talk about, find a way to come up with a position on the border that would be acceptable. There are a number of things that just weren't addressed. What I will say is that it was probably the most exciting convention to have been attending in a long time, because the people, I think, really have rallied around the candidate, Kamala Harris.
But you know what? They're trying to make it sound like she's like some new candidate. And I think, Governor, part of the reason they're clearly attacking President Trump is because they don't seem to want to talk about their policies.
Well, they don't want to talk about the policies themselves.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
it's deflection.
So you might as well fight the devil, fight the bad guy.
It's all
right,
smoke.
Exactly.
Respectfully, Governor, it's all smoke and mirrors. The Biden-Harris record is a record of failure on every issue. And Obama can go up there and say it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's wrong. Obama's the guy who enabled Iran to become a world power, a wealthy power, and create terrorism across the world. Where are they talking about the threat of nuclear Iran? They're not. Where are they talking about the anti-Semitism and the hate going on? Where are they talking about the streets of Chicago open to the pro-Hamas crowd and the Jewish kids
what about
being
crime?
marginalized?
What about crime?
Locked in one block. I mean, come on, David. You're a good common sense Democrat like me. What about the truth? The Democratic Party is lying at that convention. It's lies, lies, lies. And they tried out Obama. Come on, give me a break.
I didn't hear any more lies than I thought I heard at the Republican convention, to be perfectly honest with you. But the thing that I think is at this particular point is that everybody has got to get into this situation that's less emotional and more logical in terms of what the future of this country is. So it's one of those, listen, this is a close race. I know what the vote would be if it was in the room you all are in, but in this whole country, this is a close race. And I don't really hear enough people really drilling down on what they think are the most important issues to discuss.
Governor, do you think that the border situation with all these migrants is one of the most important?
You beat me to it, John. I was going to ask the governor.
I got to get it off my chest.
How could they have any credibility?
I got to get it off my chest.
Yeah, how can they have any credibility?
How about the 100,000 Americans that died in the last 12 months because of the border crisis with the fentanyl?
And by the way, John, some new news today, 300,000 missing migrant kids. 300,000. They don't seem to be addressing it.
And we have the dubious distinction of being the number one trafficker of kids in the world.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Governor Paterson?
One of the issues that's going on at this convention that I do resent is the fact that they haven't made any time for the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, to speak. So he went there kind of on his own. And he's the one who stood up in front of the whole country and defended all of the cities and all of the states, because New York was really the first state to get hit by the migrant crisis.
Well, it almost got him indicted.
I think then turn around and then just silence him at a convention. That's not the Democratic Party that I've been in.
And they start to silence him when they seized his cell phone at the airport. Well, that's when they started the process.
And that's why, to the governor's point, it is interesting that they're not giving him a speaking slot. He's the mayor of New York City. It's a huge city. He should be. Look at all the people that are speaking. To me, that AOC? Speaks volumes. He should be speaking
AOC?
Right. She gets to speak there. Bernie Sanders last night.
And the mayor doesn't?
Right. I agree. He should be speaking there. David, the mayor should be.
David Paterson, Bill Clinton is speaking tonight and he's introducing the vice president. What do you think he's going to say?
Well, Bill Clinton, as you know, John, because you're a good friend of his as well, is always great when he speaks. He always speaks to the point. He basically turned the whole election around in 2012 when he spoke at that convention. But this may be a tall order here because there is so much animosity and acrimony between the parties that I don't think that there are too many people who can successfully rise above it. If there is somebody who could, it would be him.
Well, that's what I look forward to watching it tonight.
I can't wait. It'll be interesting. Governor Paterson, thank you. We love you. You're great.
Thank you so much, Governor.
Thank you, David.